Hey guys, this is Chris here. I'm just an average guy. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I've been testing out various side hustles and ways to make money online. And recently, I've really been doing well with the Amazon Influencer Program. And especially my last few videos, you even know that I've gotten so deep into this that I've actually made my own software called Cha-Ching Automate. Well, I got a special guest on today. Her name's Data Coach Claire, and she's been in the Amazon Influencer program for a while, and she really knows her stuff regarding all this stuff way better than I do. But we're going to see how she's using my program, Cha-Ching Automate, and also get some tips from her about how you can start into the Amazon Influencer program as well, and how to go about doing that. So let's invite her onto the stage here. And Data Coach Claire, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Chris. So good of you to have me. And I'm so excited to talk Amazon influencer strategy, how we can work smarter, not harder, both through things like the software you developed, Cha-Ching Automate. And Chris, you're in deep in the influencer program now if you're making tools, but also how to have that lens of efficiency and automation and working smarter in your part-time hours through your whole Amazon influencer process. So really excited to be here and get to help all your viewers make more money in the Amazon influencer program.
Yes. So Data Coach Claire, can I just call you Claire?
Yeah, you can
All
just
right, there
call
we
me
go.
Claire. That's
Claire.
fine.
How did you first get started in the Amazon Influencer program, and kind of what's your approach to it? And how does it grow over time?
Sure, so fun. So I have been an Amazon influencer for just over 2 years and have already made coming up on $150,000 in Amazon commissions from it. This year is on track to be another 100K year. So it is a great side hustle. And I have two little kids and spend a lot of my work time doing Amazon influencer coaching now. But my Amazon influencer commissions are still like full time money. And so I love the Amazon influencer program. Think it is a great side hustle, or even you can grow it to thousands per month, like full time money. So whether you're treating it as a side hustle, a couple hundred a month, which is so attainable, or want to grow it to more, it definitely can be that for you.
I recently saw one of your shorts that said you're making more from your side hustle than your husband is at his full time job. How does he
It's
take that?
true. He's a good sport. I think if he wasn't so far into like the sunk cost of his professional career, he would probably be retired now. Like I would just have
That's
him be
yeah.
the stay-at-home parent.
So, at what point did you realize that this could be really more than a side hustle, like more than just side income, and actually be a full time, growing business?
Sure. When I first started, I had the mentality of I want to make $10,000 from this. And I kind of thought like maybe that would take a year. And so I thought it would be a side hustle and a lucrative side hustle. And then I was hitting like $10,000 months. I was like, "Oh, this is more than I anticipated." And then I was making more than at my salaried day job, which was a great job with great people and for a great cause, but after I had my second kid and came back from maternity leave, it was just a good time to free up some more flexibility and freedom in my own workflow. And it's been really great to be able to use so many of my skills and talents in really creative ways. I think that the Amazon Influencer Program scratches a lot of itches for me that I can use my creative side and my data and public speaking, both on videos and with coaching. And it it's been a really great fit. And honestly, when I first heard about the program, I just kind of felt good about it. I think I saw an Instagram post or something, a short of somebody talking about how much money they made. And I just had that kind of impression from God of like, this is a good thing. I've put this in your path. This is something to pursue. And so I followed that. And I'm really, really glad that I have, because it's been a great thing for my family and for many, dozens of families that I've also helped scale into the thousands as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So your name, you go by Data Coach Claire. So what's the reason you have data in your name? What's going on there?
Sure. So before starting Amazon Influencer, I got my master's degree in marketing research, and then my day job was in data analytics. And so I bring that lens to it that I don't really want to just throw stuff up and see what works, but it's that like see what works part. that
Right.
I'm not going to be guessing. I'm going to be improving and learning by looking at the numbers, by experimenting, and then sharing that with other people so that they don't have to make those same mistakes that I did in the beginning or that I still see other people making.
Yeah.
So, for
That's
example,
perfect.
just yeah,
Absolutely, because on my channel I've talked about this many. So for many videos prior to finding the Amazon influencer program, I talked about how I'm just gonna keep on trying things, and that thing failed, and this thing failed, but got to keep on. Failure is just one step towards success, as long as you keep on trying new things, right?
yeah.
So in your data collecting, what have been some of the best things? I know you mentioned in one of your things tools. So what are some tools that you
Mhm.
use to help you with your Amazon income being increased?
Sure. Um, the three main tools I use right now, well, four. I love tools, but we can talk. I'll list them and then we can talk about which ones I would recommend and for what. So I use all the time Blink, Viral View, Jungle Scout, and Cha-Ching Automate. I think those are the main ones. And then also use some other tools for like hosting my coaching or recording calls like this, but those aren't really related to Amazon influencers. But if you have questions about those, you can reach out to me on my email. That'd be totally fine. Um, but Oink and Jungle Scout are Chrome extension tools that are really powerful to automate so many of the steps that are required for the Amazon influencer workflow. I would recommend, I think Oink is great for beginners. It's an amazing value, one of the best value Amazon influencer extensions out there. And just because it has so many useful tools for a really reasonable price, I think it's like $30 a month right now. And then I also use Viral View, I think is great for that advanced data like product research. Oink doesn't have as good of product research tools yet, but Oink is adding
It's
new
getting
tools all
better.
the time.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if in a few more months that wasn't all the way true yet.
Yeah, you're probably the same way. I started using Oink when it was basically like a couple features. Now it's got like
Yeah.
hundreds in there. It's crazy.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
constantly adding stuff. So I'll put a link in there, your affiliate code for both my software and also his extension
Sure.
on there down there as well, because those are great tools. So since getting Cha-Ching Automate, how has
Yeah.
your process for transferring videos from Amazon to YouTube changed?
Yeah. I love this. So one of the ways that you can make money with the Amazon Influencer Program is to repurpose the video that you have made for Amazon and post it other places. The main platform that this works on is YouTube because the video style that works on Amazon also works pretty well on YouTube. If you repost the same content as like a short to TikTok, it doesn't really land.
Right.
It's a different style. But on YouTube it does work. And then you can put your affiliate link for that product back to Amazon and get some extra offsite traffic there. So for a long time, like I knew that this was a thing. I was doing it a little bit, maybe even paying an assistant to cross post these videos, but I keep a very efficient workflow and I just want to do the highest ROI activities. And for me, this just like wasn't that high of an ROI activity. I knew it was a way to make money, but it wasn't the best way. And so I just mostly wasn't doing it. It wasn't part of my like weekly, monthly workflow. I'd get way behind, huge backlog, and then maybe try to pay somebody to get caught up and we'd get through, a few hundred videos and then not much after that. So wasn't doing very much with it. And then when I heard about your tool, I was like, this just the idea is amazing and it has been so great. So if you guys haven't yet used Cha-Ching Automate or want to hear how I use it, you connect your Amazon influencer account to your YouTube channel and then Cha-Ching does all the heavy lifting of cross posting those videos for you. It does your deep links with your affiliate code. It does your titles, does the description with some SEO optimization. It can pull the same thumbnail and cross post that. It can even put them into playlists or on different YouTube channels, depending on what the video is, like its category. And so it, like to tell you the numbers, I've added in the last couple weeks without hardly like lifting a finger, just a couple clicks. I think I've added like 400 videos to my YouTube
Oh,
channel. And
nice.
that's just it doing like 15, 30, 40 every day. And it just is running in the background. It doesn't even take over my computer. And my earnings are increasing as well. So I love this tool. Thank you, Chris. I definitely think it is worth it. Right now it's $15 a month, right?
Yep.
And so then I have got a code for 10% off to make it a little bit less than that,
Yep.
but
1350. Yep.
definitely think it'll pay for itself.
Yeah. I mean, I made it selfishly because I was selfish with my own time. I was just like
Yes.
spending all
Yeah.
this time clicking buttons. And so you gave up on YouTube for a while there because
Yeah.
you're just like, it's not worth the time.
Yeah.
My brain says I have to keep on top of it. I got to keep on doing this
Yeah.
because I don't want to get behind. So I was just spending so much time posting to YouTube. And like you said, it just doesn't matter all that much for income for as far as the Amazon influencer program goes, right? Like
Hmm.
there's money to be made on YouTube, and YouTube is a great place to get monetized and to have affiliate sales. But if you already have Amazon influencer on site, then it pales in comparison, at least for most people. Um,
Yeah.
okay,
I think like there's some creators, Amazon influencers that really like doing the high quality videos and they do well with those,
yeah,
but it's like a different type of video production. And I think that they consider themselves a YouTuber that then posts their videos on Amazon
right.
influencer. And or you're an Amazon influencer who wants to just get a little extra squeeze from posting those videos on YouTube.
And that's a great, I mean, that's a great way of looking at it because you have to think about yourself. Which way are you? Are you a
Hmm.
YouTuber first or an Amazon influencer first? And both of them have their merits, right?
Hmm.
Which one are you?
Amazon influencer,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Do you ever think there will be a time where you make the switch or focus more on YouTube?
Mm, no. Well, not for now, because at least for my product review videos, like of course I do YouTube videos like this for Amazon influencer coaching, and so keeping that separately. The type of videos that I do and do well on Amazon Influencer are more of like a one take, kind of unpolished, very real video. Whereas on YouTube, people are looking for a little bit more in depth. Like if somebody watches a video on YouTube or excuse me, on Amazon Influencer, they're already on the product page. They're probably just looking for kind of like a quick review, a quick confirmation of what they're looking for. But if somebody is taking the time to search something on Google or on YouTube and lands on your YouTube video, they have deeper questions. They're taking time away from where they're shopping to go research.
Right.
So it's like confirmation versus deep research. And so those deep research videos can still do well on Amazon Influencer, but like the confirmation videos don't do as well on YouTube.
That's interesting. And you have data to back that up too. I'm assuming. Yeah,
Hmm.
very good. Um, okay, so since getting Cha-Ching Automate, how has your workflow changed, if at all?
Well, I didn't have to hardly add any workflow. It's just doing it by itself. And so I think what's changed is I know that it's taken care of. And my earnings report have changed. So before using Cha-Ching Automate, I was making maybe $20 to $50 total offsite per month. And that was just from those few hundred that I had cross posted to YouTube. And now I think I'm going to be doing 250 this month from my offsite earnings. And, that's stacking also creator connections earnings from that offsite traffic and Amazon creator rewards bonuses as well. So that is much more than the $15 extension. So I'm very pleased.
And while that's not a huge portion of your income overall,
Hmm.
how much work did you have to put into that?
Like a couple hours. I know that I set up the extension before you had
Right.
systematized it as much. Like I was an early beta tester. And so I bet now it's even smoother, but it took me maybe an hour to set up. And then I spend maybe 10 minutes on it a week to just make sure that it's still like up and running and doesn't need an update or doesn't need reset or something, but it's going by itself.
Very good. Awesome. That's good to hear, because I hear a lot of
Yeah.
calls for, well, a lot of troubleshooting, that I do is people who are having issues with it. So it's good to hear that it's actually working well for people as well. Um,
Yeah, it is working well.
okay, so let's turn back a little bit. You said you were one of the first beta testers for it. How was that process compared to okay, so you knew you loved the idea of it. You posting to YouTube automatically from your Amazon influencer videos. Was it clunky? Was it difficult? Or was it just a little bit of extra time? I've heard you say before, if you weren't techie, then maybe it was difficult to set up at first.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you've simplified it since then, but you did have pretty thorough like text of like click this and then click this. And I think now you have videos too. And so if you just follow the instructions and then if you like don't see the right button that it says to click, then like go back a step. Or it sounds like you've been pretty helpful to people that have gotten stuck, that they can reach out to you for some troubleshooting as well.
Yeah, certainly. If you're watching this and you need a little bit of extra help, I got a link in the description for booking a call with me. So I'd love to help you just set it up. The hardest part about this is just getting set up. Like you said, it has improved a ton since then. But once you get it set up, though, like seriously, just what do you click? One button a day, or do you even do that?
Well, I have it set on the schedule. So I have it on like timers. I think I do have it set to do 15 videos twice a day, like 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. or something like that when I'm not really using my computer anyway. And then I'll just check it once in a while to make sure it's like still up and running on my computer, but not even that once a day. And that takes like 15 seconds to make sure like, oh, still didn't accidentally close it out or, turn it off or didn't get stuck somewhere, but it's been running really smoothly.
Good deal.
And honestly, like I'm willing to accept like that little bit of imperfection with it because it's like making me more money without me having to do hardly anything. And so I don't expect it to be like at A plus because it's only like a month old software.
Right.
And so
yeah, we're barely out of beta. I mean, it's only been out of beta for about a week. And
exactly.
Things are going really well. So I'm really glad to hear that it's working so well for you. A couple clicks a day. And actually, you don't even do that. You have it on a schedule. No. So it just runs in the background. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
One thing you use data a lot in your approach and your even your workflow and everything. Since you started cross posting more consistently to YouTube from Amazon, in addition to the extra revenue, have you noticed any measurable changes with your time or your measurable changes in you mentioned just the weight of not having to do it, measurable changes in yourself? How has the Cha-Ching Automate helped you personally?
Like I said, to have it just like check it's done and not really feel the weight of it on my shoulders. Like, oh, I know I should, or like, oh, I should try to, find a new assistant that could do that because my old one went off to college and now they can't do it anymore and now I'm behind. To just like, I know it's building in the background. And so there hasn't been much difference in my time, but that confidence of like, it's doing something. I know that I'm making the most out of the content that I already have. And additional peace of mind is before this, I wasn't really making a video backlog, and now I am, or like a backup is what I meant to say, because I was uploading videos from my phone, but then like every month I feel like I run out of phone storage and have to go through and delete a bunch of videos. So before I was just kind of, well, it's deleted. And if I ever really, really need that footage, I can go download it off my Amazon influencer storefront. But with the workflow I have, I haven't really needed the footage. But now while Cha-Ching is cross-posting those videos to my YouTube channel, I have it set up that it will save a copy of that video to a folder on my desktop. And so later I could even transfer that folder then to a hard drive or something if it gets too full on my desktop storage. So that is an additional peace of mind to know like I have those files a place locally without having to take the time to find them. And then what's great about that too, rather than manually saving them somewhere, is it's auto labeling them with the product, the date, the title. And so I don't have to do that, but I could be able to find like where's my video about this ASIN, and find it right away.
Sweet. Yeah. And that was, once again, that was your feature. When I first made this and you're like, it would be great if it just did this. I'm like, we can do that. No problem.
Thank you. If you're
Sure,
using that feature,
your idea, I'll give you all the credit. Okay. So all of my software aside, just in general, in your business with Amazon influencers, day to day, what's kind of what does your time look like? What are you wanting to get accomplished? What are your goals for yourself, your own business from day to day?
Sure. So right now, I mentioned I have two little kids, ages 1.5 and almost 4. And so I have 3 days a week of childcare. And so about 20 hours of work time. And then I also do an hour or two a day of extra work while my kids are sleeping, like nap time, bedtimes. And I know if you have little kids, then you know how precious those
We've been
hours
there.
can be.
Yep.
And with these hours, like I spend at least half of that coaching. I have a intermediate level Amazon influencer course, and so I'll be working to improve that course all the time. I'm editing, updating lessons, and answering my students' questions, answering email inquiries, doing coaching webinars like this. And so for my actual Amazon influencer commissions, I'm doing maybe 15 hours a week right now, and am still on track to do 100K this year. So my name of the game for Amazon influencer is I want to make the most dollar per hour. I care about efficiency. I care about what type of products, what style of video is actually moving the needle. And I feel like I've gotten that dialed in pretty well. And it is a well-oiled system working for me right now that I'm continuously also improving as I go.
What are your best tips to make sure that you're locked in and you are maximizing your ROI when you're making those videos?
I love this question. I feel like the biggest mistake I see Amazon influencers make is that they're spending too long making okay videos for bad products. So spending too long means you're spending more than like 5 minutes per video. Without that extra time, that extra work time, turning into more watch time for your video. And so let's put a little pin on that watch time and come back to that because that's really important. The next thing is like your videos are okay. I'm not saying you have to have a YouTube style production. You can go that route. It will work, especially if you have previous video editing experience and you like making that style of video. Great. Also, we could talk more about what that looks like, what that strategy is like. But often people are spending 30, 40 minutes to make an Amazon influencer video, and it's not much better than what I can make in 4 minutes. And so I know where the good dollar per hour is. So for most people, I recommend higher efficiency in their video production. And I've seen this in the data. The amount of time spent per video does not predict, indicate, correlate with how much money people are making on average per month. So it's really a pretty flat relationship that the people making their videos in 5 minutes or less are making even more per month than those people spending 30 minutes per video.
Yeah. One of the coolest things about this whole Amazon influencer program is that you don't have to be a professional level editor, professional level speaker. You literally can just take a product in your hand, get out your camera and film it, as long as you have something valuable to say about it, right? I mean, that's really as long as you're answering a question that the buyer might be wondering about, you just be yourself and let a little bit of your personality show a little bit, and not worry about getting everything perfect. Is that what you find?
Yeah, I think that letting some of that messiness show through, that authenticity is really important, I think, to let it be a little bit messy. And even I was watching or like listening to a podcast recently talking about trends in social media in general. And for the last about 10 years, social media video production has just gotten like better and better, like better cameras, better editing, better effects, like just the quality has been increasing. But now with AI video, that you can tell something looks like AI because it looks too perfect. And so then there's this kind of pendulum swing of like, now the videos that are more human, a little messier, actually perform better. There people are doing studies of like, high quality versus iPhone front camera, like the little imperfections that just make it normal and natural actually help your video do better. And I think that type of authenticity and also, what you say, we could talk about that, does help your Amazon influencer videos do better because Amazon customers are looking for a real person to tell them their real thoughts about like the real products that they have in their hands.
Yeah. Has data ever showed that something that everyone, you mentioned video editing, that kind of thing, that everyone thinks is just so crucial, really just doesn't matter at all whatsoever? Is there any data points that show that?
Conversion rate doesn't seem to matter for your video placement. Thumbnails don't really matter much. And that one's a little bit more nuanced. So I could talk for like 15 minutes about thumbnails. But, if you're spending 5 minutes making each thumbnail, you can cut that out and probably make just as much. Those are the top ones that came to mind.
So who's looking at conversion rate? Like, to me, conversion rate is a symptom rather than a cause, right?
Well, often people will say if there's, let's say, dozens of videos on tagged to a product on Amazon, then Amazon would like use the conversion rate to determine which video is at the top of the carousel.
Yeah.
And it's not true. I've looked at the data. Conversion rate does not determine carousel placement. Watch time does. How long, how many seconds people are watching your video. It's a 6 times better predictor of carousel placement than conversion rate is.
That's interesting because so before getting into Amazon influencers, I was on YouTube more. And one of the things that they talked about on YouTube is so when you're monetized on YouTube, you get ads, your AdSense plays and stuff. And if you get if you make a video that's over 8 minutes long, then all of a sudden you can have mid-roll ads. So, but one thing they always said was not people who know, like Sean Cannell and TubeBuddy and vidIQ people, they say don't make your video longer just to get those mid-roll ads because people can tell right away that you're just adding fluff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really going to help you long term in terms of your video's performance if you're just adding it to make it longer. So, but Amazon influencers, so when you're trying to make them longer, I mean, do you need to think about adding value that whole time, or is the length really the name of the game?
Sure. Well, let's talk about this. So watch time determines your carousel placement. The data says longer videos do get placed more often. I was talking to some other advanced Amazon influencer friends about this, and we made these charts that showed like the video length and then the percent of how many of those videos were placed. So like 30 seconds and under, what percent, 1 minute and under, what percent, 2 minutes, what percent, 3 minutes, what percent. And it just kept going up and up and up. So like of my 30-second videos, it was like 60%, and then 1 minute, 65, 2 minutes, 70. And for like the handful of videos that I had were 5 minutes or longer, 100% of those were placed.
Wow.
And this was repeated again across like several Amazon influencers. They saw the same pattern. So length does get you in the right direction. But of course, like if you're just staring at the camera for 5 minutes,
right.
It's a 5-minute long video, but that's not it. And so if you have a longer video, then of course in that video, you're going to be talking about more of the features, showing more demo, sharing a story, more comparison. And so I'm not really scared of the fluff, but I am front loading the most valuable stuff. I want it to start fast and end slow. Like I want the initial retention. I want to answer questions. I want to show the most interesting things right up front, the first like 10, 30 seconds. And then I'm just not really in a hurry to turn the camera off after that. Like the other day, I did a 6.5-minute video in one take, no edits. And it was a comparison video. So I was talking about a couple different products and, had a lot to say. There were products I knew well, but I previously to knowing this data, I would have made that video maybe 1 minute long, like just say what I had to say and then wrap it up short and sweet, get it out the door. But now I know that the length can help because if somebody watches that full video, that's a sign to Amazon that it's a good video if it
That's
gets more
interesting.
watch time than others.
That's fascinating. So let's play this out just a little bit more because I this is
Sure.
interesting to me. So without just staring at the product, if you're doing a review of a remote, you don't just hold it
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
5 minutes, but
No.
you also don't want to just repeat yourself over and over, right?
Yeah.
So you might start talking about the simple stuff first, like I said, start fast and slow. You talk about the feel of the buttons. You might get into the battery and start talking about how many batteries and all that stuff. So, but ending slow without repeating to yourself. Do you focus even more on up closeness, or how do you make a 1 minute video 5 minutes of more value
Sure.
without just getting into the repetition?
Well, and I'm not saying that like every video should be 5 minutes long. Sometimes like there's just not very much to say. It's a simple product. It's a remote. Like I've already gone over everything. But I think that stretching, like adding another 30 seconds, another minute than you usually would is kind of the right direction. And so at the end, I'll recap. I maybe will even share an anecdote or personal story or like more details on how we're using it. Or like, oh, funny thing is when I went to buy this, like I'm not starting my video that way, but if somebody is still watching at the 2 minute mark, then they are helping my video get more placement.
That's
And
good.
so when we talk about this watch time, it's not the percentage watched. It doesn't matter if it's they watch 30%, it's that how many seconds they watched. And so if you have a longer video, you have the opportunity to rack up more seconds. If your video is only 30 seconds long, the most time that a customer will ever be able to watch that video is 30 seconds. They're not going to watch it again. That, just the one time. But if somebody has a 2 minute video, maybe that one only gets 45 seconds watch time versus your 30-second video that somebody watched the whole thing. But then the data says that that 45 seconds would make that video rank above yours, which got 30.
Fascinating. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so not only are you a user of my software, Cha-Ching Automate,
Yes.
but you're actually our top affiliate right now. Also, we have an
Oh,
affiliate
wow. I didn't
program,
know.
and you've recommended the program more than anybody else. And uh, I'll throw a link in the description for the. I need to remember how many links I'm putting in the description for today, but I'll put a link to this in the description
Yeah.
for the affiliate program as well. But tell me why. Not only are you using the program so much, why are you recommending it so much?
I feel like this is such a no-brainer. Like, of course, everybody should be using this because even if it only saves you an hour of time per month, what's your time worth? At least $15 an hour. I value my time much more highly than that. Or if you were, paying an assistant to do this, what's their time worth? Or what's the headache worth? And so I really am so happy to tell everybody about this because it is so useful and it is making people more money than the software costs. And so I'm very happy to recommend this to people, not because I get affiliate commission from it, because I really do think it's a useful tool to help people make more money as Amazon influencers.
Yeah. And like you said, you spent well, you got it on the early bird pricing. It's come up
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit, but even right now it's $15 a month. With your discount
Mm-hmm.
code, it's $13.50. And with that, you've made over $250. So it's paid for itself many times over already.
Yeah.
And I would say anybody who values their time, like you said, it would be just a time saver overall.
Yes.
Okay, last question for you, Claire.
Sure.
If you were trying to convince somebody who's looking for a side hustle, maybe Amazon influencers isn't for everyone, but
Yeah.
what's your best pitch for getting into this, and why would they at least want to try it, explore it, as opposed to some other things?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm a numbers gal, so I'll tell you the numbers. I surveyed last month 200 Amazon influencers. Those that are in their first 6 months of the program, so beginners, they are making an average of $450 per month. So I don't know very many other side hustles that you can start and be making hundreds almost right away. Now, I want to be careful not to say like this is easy money or it's so easy, like that you're guaranteed to make a lot. It does, take some work and take some good strategies, especially if you want to scale beyond hundreds and into thousands. But it really is quite possible to scale to hundreds. If you're looking for several $100s per month side hustle, this is a great thing for you. You can start with no upfront costs. If you need help getting into the program, I have a beginner's course that can help with that. Really easy. I even helped somebody recently get approved for the program with 0 followers. No followers are required. You don't have to
Wow.
be a social media influencer. Um, and then I have an intermediate course for people ready to scale. Just recently, I was talking with one of my students, Haley, who she started the program at the end of November. So, beginning of December, right before Christmas. And this month in March, so 4 months later, she's already crossed her first $5,000 month and already hit platinum.
Nice.
So it's possible to scale to thousands as well. And it just takes the right strategies.
Yeah, I really think with this program, I've tried so many things prior to this, but it's really one of the easiest. And you get out of it what you put into it. I mean, if you make good videos for products that are selling on Amazon, it just seems like it almost like, certainly, like you said, it's not automatic.
Yeah.
But it really is a great, viable way for people to make money online, especially. So, Claire, thank you so much for joining me and explaining how not only to start into the Amazon influencer program, but also use my software. I'm going to just say a couple words, and then thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Guys, she knows her stuff. If you haven't gotten into the Amazon influencer program yet, if you're looking for a side hustle that you've tried various things, but nothing quite has worked out, try this out, because it really has been, for me, one of the best ways to make money online. And if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm just an average guy.